Hi, Patrick here, Half Cheetah Will View. And welcome to Dollar Theater, ongoing series that was created by our friend Josh Hobbs from Hobbs Horror. And this is where we review movies and TV, anything that we get for $1.25 or less. So for today, we are going back to documentary and TV at the same time. We're going to be covering the 23rd season of Top Gear. Top Gear. This came out in 2016. Now, Top Gear was actually it's a British show. It originated in 1977 and ran to 2001. Before it looked like it was going to sail off into the sunset. It's a very popular show in Great Britain. People really loved the show, and it became every year you could count on seeing a season of Top Gear. But after 2001, they decided to end the show until presenter Jeremy Clarkson, co-host Jeremy Clarkson, along with Hammond, Richard Hammond, and James May, they came up with an idea to keep the show going, and they went to the BBC and they presented their idea, and the BBC went with it, and so the show ran from 2002 to 2022 with that lineup. Unfortunately, Jeremy Clarkson got a little bit in trouble, and they had to let him go, and his two cohorts, Richard Hammond and James May, left with him. So they wanted to keep the show going on, so they hired a new staff of presenters. They hired Chris Evans, who was a comedian, along with Matt LeBlanc, and a crew of four that will rotate throughout the season. Champion race car driver Sabine Schmitz, and Chris Harris, Rory, Reid, and Eddie Jordan. They're also very accomplished drivers. So they would come onto the show. Now, the show basically was all about the cars, supercars. They love supercars. But it didn't really matter if it's, supercars or any car. As long as they had four wheels and a motor and a steering wheel, they were going to review it and put us through paces. And, of course, everybody really likes watching those supercars. But there's a lot of charm in watching them taking out a Nissan or Subaru or Reliant out for a ride. The show basically is not only does it showcases the cars, but they do some fun challenges too, and it's intercontinental. This is an intercontinental show, which means they went everywhere. They've been to Antarctica. The show has been to Antarctica with the old staff, along to South Africa with the new one. They went across Europe. They come over here to the U.S. And the show only ran generally about 10 episodes a season. This season ran for 6 because of the fallout with the Jeremy Clarkson. And you look at it and you say, well, only 10 shows per season until you watch the show itself. This show takes a lot of time to put together. It's not an easy show to produce. I mean, it's like shooting 10 little mini films actually 10 to maybe 15 like little mini movies throughout the season, because it's very, very intensive. And the people who are presenting, everybody, they drive. There's no stunt drivers here. If they're driving somewhere, the hosts are doing it. So you get to see that as well. We're focusing on season 23, which was the first season with Evans and LeBlanc as the co-hosts, along with their co-presenters. And like I said, only ran for six episodes. This show is a lot of fun. I can't tell you how much I've become hooked on this show, and I can understand my buddy Catfish loving it too. I really never knew. I never watched it. I had gotten like 1 or 2 seasons at the Dollar Tree, but it was just because I was blind buying. I never watched it. I'm not really what you call a car head. I'm not one of those, but I do enjoy them. And once I started watching the show, I really became enamored of it. In fact, I in the middle of the night, I find myself talking to our friend Rick from the UK, Rick, old AF reviewers. he finds. I know he must be. I know he must be entertained by this, getting pings from me, going like, "Oh my gosh, I just watched the latest season of Top Gear. This is amazing. You damn you Brits, because I'm hooked." And it has been released by the BBC. As you can see, the BBC's here. They released they released it on DVD. I'm not sure if it got a Blu-ray release or not, but it definitely got a DVD release. But I'm not sure what season it went up to. At least I know it went up to 2016. So this season featured a lot of fun. There's a lot of fun, including my personal segment. My personal favorite was Matt LeBlanc's and Rory Reid. Rory Reid is my favorite presenter. Whenever he's masterful. And Matt LeBlanc, you would think with the guy from Friends, yeah, the guy from Friends does an absolutely great job here. His segment with Chris about the Rolls Royce is really, really nice. That Rolls Royce Dawn of 2016, absolutely the most gorgeous car I've seen. That car is spectacular. But I like the fast cars too. I like the fast cars, and we get to see that with Rory as he takes the original Jaguar and he attempts to take the same car, the new car. He attempts to take the car on the same route that the driver did, the test driver did, back in the I think it was 1960. 60. See, I'll tell you. He tried to take the car back to this car show with the brand new car, and he had to beat the record of the old car. But due to traffic, which was much heavier today than back then when the test driver did, he was late by 10 minutes. But he did make it. There's a couple of segments during the show. If you're not familiar with Top Gear, they have a segment called where they get a car, they review it, and then they have their professional driver known as the Stig take the car out for a run. Now the Stig is not known. No one knows who he is. He never do. Now a couple of times he has been revealed as a professional race car driver. One time it was Michael Schumacher, the famed Formula One champion, and he was revealed to be the Stig, but you don't know who it is per week. And he puts the cars through his paces, and then they come with a time, and then and it's very, very fun. They have their own track that they drive on. They had another segment on their old show called Stars in a Reasonably Priced Car, which shows a celebrity coming in, answering a few softball questions about a latest project, and then they go out there and they drive the track, and for time. And they've had some heavy hitters on there doing that. It's really, really fun to watch. But they couldn't do that with the new co-host. So what they did was they changed it around to stars in a rallycross car, which is a little Mini Cooper, and they put them in a what's it called? The model's called, I think, the Mini Cooper. And what they did was they set them on the track and included them through two parts that were dirt tracks. Yeah, it was a lot of fun. People come out there and they try to set their record. They had everybody, they would have two stars come out, and first they would present their very first car that they owned, and then they would present their favorite car that they owned, the best car that they owned, and then people, the crowd would vote on who had the best car. The first car, of course, was funny as hell. I felt sorry for the rest of them though when Patrick Dempsey walked out with a Porsche that he bought when he was 15 years old for "Can't Buy Me Love." sort of at a disadvantage from an old 76 hoopty, a Yugo. Like I said, though, this is a very fun show. It's actually still ran up to just now. I think they were at their 33rd season or 34th season, but one of the new co-presenters got hurt. He got hurt during a segment, and so the BBC has decided to give the show a rest in their own terminology. They're going to take it offline for a couple of years. Probably probably not a bad idea. It allows them to one thing, look at what they're doing. I mean, you can't risk your host's life and limb doing unsafe things. And all the hosts do all their own driving. There are no stunt drivers here. Everybody that's on the show that presents the show is doing the driving. Um, and so I think it'll probably be good to take a couple of years break and also build up the inventory of cars that they drive because they drive everything. And they can put up to two, three different cars per show. There's not that many supercars out there, so you can go through them really quick, which is probably one of the reasons why the show also is down to 5 to 6 per season. They don't do 10 anymore. Now they're doing 5 to 6. Um, I highly recommend Top Gear. I don't know if it's being streamed anywhere. Probably BBC will probably be streaming it. Um, I know you can get it, at least, like I said, I know you can get it at least up to the year 2016. As far on the BBC, you can get that. I'm sure they have home releases all the way up till now. I'm positive of that, but I'm only speaking to the season that I have, which is season 23. I really enjoyed this show quite a bit. I think it's a lot of fun, and even if you're not a gearhead, you definitely will enjoy it as well. Um, a couple of quick notes too. Unfortunately, this season was racked up by some tragedy. Um, one of the co-presenters, Chris Evans, he was let go after this season. The viewers did not really particularly like him, and they voiced their opinion about it. They did not like him very much at all, and so he was actually let go after this season. This was his only season of Top Gear. Um, I I found him okay. I didn't see anything. I didn't see anything that would make you tell you that he wasn't a good presenter because he was. Now I do think that he did was a little bit too showboaty. I think he tried too hard to be, super super hyper, and I do think that comes back to bite him in the ass. Um, Matt LeBlanc, he was on the show for 4 years before he left. And unfortunately, the young lady who did the was one of the co-presenters, world champion race car driver Sabine Schmitz. Unfortunately, she passed away a couple of years ago. She had cancer, and she passed away. I actually found that out when I was doing the research on the season here, and that's a real tragedy because she was a real highlight. Um, I got to tell you, the new. I mean, I know a lot of people love the old host, and I do too. Clarkson and Hammond and May are really good, but I got to tell you, the new hosts held their own. Especially that Rory Reid. That guy could sell sand he could sell sand to anybody. He could sell ice to an Eskimo. He could send he's an amazing presenter, and I really enjoyed his segments very much. All right, so that is it for Dollar Theater this week. Top Gear season 23. If you're a fan of the show, drop me a comment down below. Which team you like better. Did you like Evans and LeBlanc, or did you like Hammond, Clarkson, and May? Tell me what your favorite car was, your favorite challenge was, your favorite stars in a reasonably priced car. Um, yeah, you know what to do. All right, we will be back next week with something new. Thanks for watching. If you're new to the channel, consider hitting the sub button. and hit the notification bell, and we will talk to you soon. Peace.